Took my kid camping. Wife stayed. She hates camping and usually fights me on taking our kid. This time, she was weirdly fine. Came home to a naked man in our bed. She cheated and says it's not her fault and blames me. The wife and I have been married for 3 beautiful years. Problem is she doesn't enjoy my hobbies as much as I do. The missus used to happily join me on adventures such as camping or fishing. Now she won't so much as go on a simple hike with me. We have a 7-year-old, and since the kiddo, these adventures have been a little tough to plan and follow through with, which I understand, but it can be hard on me. This past weekend, the kiddo and I went on a 2-day camping trip for some father-son bonding time. This is a big hobby for me, and I want to share with my son. Usually, we argue a lot about my trips, especially if I request to bring our child, but this time she was oddly cooperative about the whole thing, but still insisted she wouldn't join us. I was surprised, but didn't question anything, because I was so excited that she was finally allowing us to go, and I didn't want her to change her mind. I thought we had finally found a common ground, and the arguments were ending. I was wrong. We had a great trip and returned back on Monday. We expected to come home to an empty house, as my wife should have been at her office for a few more hours. I walked the kid up to his room as he was exhausted and ready for a nap. After, I walked into our bedroom to find a naked man in my bed. I recognized him as my wife's co-worker, whom I have met numerous times at her work functions. At first, I was in disbelief and even wondered if I was in the right house. Then my wife walked out of our bathroom, also naked, and I had no more doubts. She looked petrified when she saw me. I have never been so angry. I yelled at the dude to get out of my house so I could speak to my wife. He grabbed his clothes and left. Then we started arguing. I never yell at my wife. We always want to keep things civil for our son, but I was so hurt that I was screaming. Then my wife decides to get defensive, saying it's not her fault that I am barely around and camp so much, even though I hardly go on trips anymore, because she doesn't like it. She says, "That's what drove me to do this, your neglect to this family." I was in tears at that point. I just don't understand how her cheating could be my fault. When I turned around to leave, my son was standing in the doorway, and I felt terrible for yelling. I quickly consoled him, but my wife snapped at me again, telling me to get my hands off him. Now she won't speak to me and says I can't see my child until I apologize. Apologize for what? She said we could go on this trip. She planned to cheat, and that kills me. It makes me wonder if she has done this before. I'm stuck staying with my parents right now. I don't know what to do. I want to see my son. I'm worried I really scared my child, and of course I would apologize to him. Just not my wife, but maybe it is my fault. Best comments. Don't leave the house. It is your property and child too. Don't let her claim you abandoned your son while she is the primary care for the kid. Thanks for the advice. I felt bad and pressured to leave, but you're right, I need to stand my ground. Heading back to the house this evening. Reassure your son he is the most important person in your life. Do not engage with wife. Separate your money now. Start a book on dates of your camping and check against phone records. Get a nanny camera to protect yourself while in the home. I will. Never thought of a camera. It's a great idea. I will pick one up. Thanks, brother. Sister here, looking out for a brother. I did the same as you after D-Day, just over 4 years ago. Thankfully, I was advised to return to the house and stay, as she was the offender, not me. Yes, meant some shitty nights with her, but she didn't fight me on it and moved out. I was able to buy her out of the house and stay. Update number 1. I'm back home now, decided it was best to get here ASAP. Things are quiet, but I'm relieved to be back in the same space as my son. Thank you all for the advice and kind words. It means so much. I'll keep you all updated if you'd like. Edit. In case of any confusion, I am Canadian. Update number 2. 9 days after the first post. For the past week, I have been working with a lawyer to initiate the process of divorce and gaining full custody of my son, with the exception of visitation for now until more is resolved. Things were awkward and tense for the first few days of me being back home, so my wife, using wife, to keep things simple and identities private, decided to leave to stay with the guy I found naked with her. I'm disappointed at the example she's setting for our son, but this makes my decision to divorce even more concrete. I will continue to share as much as I can if that's what people would like, but of course court has its confidentialities that I must keep within boundaries of. I want to thank everyone for the continued support you all have shown me throughout this tough time in my life. I really do appreciate it. Best comments. So, She just dipped out on not only her marriage, but also her kid, for a coworker? Sheesh. I hope everything goes your way. You didn't deserve that, and it's not your fault that she decided to jump into bed with someone else. If she felt neglected in your marriage, she could have sat you down and had a conversation about it. Make sure you don't take her back when she inevitably gets dumped by the AP and realizes she F up. That's disgusting of her. Make sure you get full parental rights and use the fact that she left the home and your child against her in court. Also, when you start the divorce proceedings, inform her work HR about the affair. Sir, you need to know you're infinitely stronger than me. I would have put that man in the hospital if I caught them like that. Can't say I would have even tried to subdue the anger within when my attention was turned to the other participant. Whatever you do and wherever you go, I hope it goes your way. Trust me, I was angry enough, but I didn't want an assault charge to make things worse. Thank you for the reply. Update number 3, 20 days after the last update. This is another, and most likely final, update about my ex. I expected my last update to be the final post regarding my marriage, but this felt like a necessary thing to share. Last week I received several texts from my ex saying she was pregnant with an unknown man's child. Obviously meaning she cheated with multiple other people before the one I found out about. She said she plans to keep the baby and start a family with her coworker. She also mentioned that she wouldn't be fighting me for custody of our son. I told her I would be willing to split the custody or at least keep visitation rights for the sake of the kiddo, but she insisted she didn't care about that anymore. I am honestly in awe. I'm shocked she has given up on everything about the family we had, but I am most hurt for my son. At the end of the day, she isn't worth wasting any more of my energy on. I have been spending every moment I can with my kid and will continue to do so. I'm starting to feel more like myself again, and I can't wait to get back into adventures and nature. I'd like to say a final thanks to everyone for the support and encouragement. I will always be grateful for that. Best comments. Make sure you get a court-agreed commitment for her to pay for your son's upkeep. She can't just walk away and pretend he doesn't exist. If he can afford it, it's better that she signs her parental rights away because she will come back sooner or later. Why haven't you made this public to all their coworkers? I actually did. I haven't felt the need to include every detail of this ordeal in my posts.